up, you guys? Now today we are talking about a topic that I feel like needs to be talked about, and it's about living a private life and what does privacy mean and why do so many people feel like they just have to overshare, right? We also have an amazing guest. He's a dear friend of mine who has helped me through the toughest of times and probably one of the most private people I've ever met. You are not gonna catch him on social media. We have Elikim.
Well, thank you. You will catch me on social media. I just won't be talking much, you know. I want to start by saying this is an amazing production.
Oh, thank you.
It's great to see something go from like an idea to becoming reality.
Ooh,
so this is dope. I'm proud of you.
You're the best guest thus far.
Well,
okay.
Now let's get it cracking.
So today we talk about privacy. And we talk about this a lot, but I feel like society makes us feel like, or even social media like that, we have to overshare everything. If it's overshare our relationships, if it's overshare where we're traveling to, if we just came up on some money, like flashing our cars and clothes, like what's your experience been with privacy, or why do you feel like you're just so private?
I think privacy, the way I see privacy is it's basically how much of your life are you comfortable allowing a stranger in on.
Yeah.
And for me, whatever you see on my social media is what I'm comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yes, I've done a little bit of oversharing in the past, but for me, privacy is mainly being comfortable with someone. We like the likes when they come in, but we like the negative comments when they come in. So it's how much of my life am I comfortable sharing with a stranger.
Yeah.
That's what privacy means to me. And
so what's the difference? Like, for example, like I'm an influencer, you know, and I catch myself, probably not now as much, but oversharing, and I have overshared a lot of my life, not just relationships, on like, if I'm having a bad day, I pick up my phone and I immediately am recording a video crying or whatever the case is, right? How important is, you know, privacy for you? Like, you know, how do you might cope with something like that versus for me, I'm going straight to social media.
But what are your boundaries? Are you comfortable with that?
No, not anymore.
Why?
Because I feel like in my last relationship, my last two relationships were very public. I talked about it on social media. And so when my first relationship ended, you know, I let TikTok know like it was done because of infidelity, right? But then when I got into my next relationship, it felt like it was healthy. It wasn't. It felt like it was healthy. So I was just sharing everything. Well, when the breakup happened, I didn't share one because it was embarrassing of like what happened. And so then I started kind of creating content solo, and people were noticing like, yo, where your man at? And I'm like, and my comments, people were harassing me. They were like, yo, like, are you single? Like, what's going on here? Like, and I'm like, I don't feel comfortable sharing. And people will argue with me and say, you know, well, you share everything else. You're transparent about everything else. Why you ain't gonna tell us about our relationship? So at that point, I was like, I don't have boundaries. So now as I'm like embarking on a new relationship, I do want to have boundaries in place where I share what you need to see. Like, you gonna know I have a man, but you don't need to know nothing else. Like his name, where he from, what he look like that's my business. So now like you guys don't feel like you have to be all up in my business. And then I also feel protected as far as what I put out.
100%. And that's where I come from with my privacy, right? Look, if I'm on a trip and I'm having a good time, you're going to see it.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm not going to tell you what hotel I'm at, who I'm with, what, you know. But I think as long as you're comfortable with what you're sharing, it shouldn't matter. And that's where I come from when it comes to privacy. Yeah. For me, I'm just a private guy. Always been like that. So,
yeah, you are.
Guy, if you enjoy telling people how much you make, go crazy.
Yeah.
But for me, it doesn't work for me. And I think society kind of puts that pressure on people to think they have to do that.
Yeah.
For most people, the results are not great, right? Because you went through a breakup, you had to explain to someone.
Yeah.
Me, I went through a breakup. Part of my relationship was public, and I felt like I understand what you mean by the embarrassment of having to go back and wait. My stuff was public. Now everyone knows, and we're not posting pictures together again. I understand that, so I had to adjust, and that's what life is, right?
Yeah.
Learning from those mistakes or that experience and adjusting. Yeah. So like now, you enjoy being more private.
I love it. It's less stress. I love the peace that I have.
100%.
Versus before, like, you know, I mean, I also thank TikTok because that's how I found out what my ex was doing was thanks to TikTok. You know, they saw like, oh, your man is doing et cetera, et cetera. But I like the peace that I have now. Like, I can sleep at night. Like it's an amazing feeling, and I only put out what I like, and I don't hurt my feelings at the end of the day.
It also depends on what you're on social media for.
Yeah.
Some people need that validation.
Oh my God, yes. I was just about to ask that.
Luckily, I'm not there looking for that. For me, social media has become more of like it's more of a business, and I think that's what it's become for most of people in your world, right?
Oh, yes.
Creators is more. So it depends what you're on social media for. If you're on social media for validation, yeah, go ahead and tell them how much you make, where you live, all that. But if you're there for business, you post a picture, get a bunch of likes, engagement goes up, brands like
Yeah.
it. So it depends on what you're on social media for. I think that's also key.
Yeah, but do you think people, I think about this a lot, like, do you think people do that for validation? Like, when people post their money and where they travel to, do you think it's only just validation, or do you feel like they might have an insecurity, or they're comparing themselves to others, or they feel like they have something to prove?
But you need that validation because of your insecurity,
That's true.
right? People with money don't go online and tell you how much money they're making, right? You need that validation, so you go there and you tell them how much money you're making.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, if I go on vacation, I'm posting myself, right?
Yeah.
It's not really for I just want you to know I'm having fun,
Yeah.
you know? And yeah, maybe that's a part of us that wants someone to know, like, here's what we are.
Yeah.
But that's where it ends.
It's like those people, I think we talk about this all the time, like the billionaires, when they come out dressed in regular, like a t-shirt, pants, and some sneakers, versus you walk around in Atlanta and a nigga is Gucci, shirt, pants,
Atlanta is a
and
place
shoes.
for this, huh?
It's like, and then you wonder why you just got robbed. You know, like, it's feel like you got to let everybody know, this is Gucci, I paid for this, and this is an expensive outfit, and I got some money.
It's a whole billboard.
It's a whole billboard.
Yeah.
Versus, somebody that's a billionaire walks around with the same pair of sneakers every day, a t-shirt and a sneakers, and in your t-shirt, and they're just fine.
100%. And I think, like we've been saying, I mean, for you, what do you think, why do you think people find the need to post all that?
I just feel like they're always in competition with other people.
That's a part of it.
Yeah, I think people are in competition. I feel like as we get older, it's like, if you haven't traveled to a certain place, or you don't have this job, or you don't drive this car, and you haven't done these things, it's like it's like the cool factor, or it's like a FOMO, a fear of missing out, right? Like, if I didn't do all those things, I got to post so you can see. Like, I used to be one of those people where I posted from the moment I got to the airport. You saw the little headliner where we going to the little plane. We sit on the plane. I got the picture of the window. So when we land, I grab my bag. I'm at what hotel I'm staying at. Like, I used to be one of those people because I want you to know, like, yeah, I'm on the go. I'm traveling. I got it. I'm a boss bitch. Now I don't do those things at all whatsoever. I feel like people are just in competition with one another.
Yeah, there's also the other part of that, which is security, right?
Yeah.
You're telling people where you live and all that. I think social media in general, being private, has its perks.
Yeah.
One of those is people don't have so much access to you and your life, but also is your own security.
Yeah.
You never know who means you harm.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
if you're posting everything in regards to like your location, things you're doing, I usually don't post where I am till I leave there.
Yeah, same. Same.
So these are all things people need to take into consideration when they're posting freely or stunting online.
Yeah,
we've seen
in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen so many famous cases of people getting murdered because they posted something.
Yeah.
I think these are things that people should learn from.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to happen to you for you to learn from it.
Yeah. How do you feel like that applies to like relationships? So like you mentioned you were like in a relationship that was kind of public versus what is your view on being private in your relationships now?
Even in that relationship, right? I had a conversation with my guy and we're talking about me posting maybe once every 2-3 months.
Yeah.
To me posting everything I was doing on vacation. And I was like, and he's like, what made you decide to be so open? I'm like, really, that's what I wanted you to see.
Yeah.
It's not like I was posting myself going to sleep, myself waking up in the morning. I was just posting what I wanted you to see. I think you have to have boundaries when you're on social media and know why you're posting or what you want to post. Everything is not for the camera.
Absolutely.
Right? So for me, the boundaries I have, I apply them to my relationship and how I post online.
Yeah.
If my partner likes to post, that's her business. Let her go crazy.
I was going to ask that. I was going to say that. I was like, I feel like, everybody's like all relationship goals now, right? And I kid you not, I used to be one of those people where I'm like, I can't wait to get a boyfriend so I can post him. And that shit all backfired in the face. Like, that was a no-go. So, like, now I don't I don't want to post my partner. Like I think Drea said it. Like I'm not in a relationship with social media. I'm in a relationship with
100%.
my partner.
Yeah, and you two understand each other. The world doesn't need to be in on that, right?
Yeah.
And I think that also brings pressure into the relationship.
Yeah.
For me, I just because it's my way doesn't mean it's everyone's way. But for me, I think it's important to have some boundaries when it comes to posting online, relationship-wise.
Yeah.
But that's just
Yeah.
Elikim's way.
Why do you think women post men more than men post their women? Oh, was that not a good question?
No, it's a great question. Is it? It's
I want to know because
it's
it's
a great
always
question.
you see those, you see those posts where people are like, yeah, well, but your man don't post you, that ain't the man you're supposed to be with. So
Look, I think there are multiple reasons, but you also have to know your relationship.
absolutely.
If I'm with someone and I'm enjoying myself, I'm posting, right? If unless you're moving funny in the background, you don't want to post because
Yeah.
it brings attention to the relationship. And these days people find each other online and tell real quick.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on your relationship, and it's what there has to be context to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, if I'm in a relationship, I'm happy. If I'm out to dinner, if I'm on vacation, I'm posting.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, why do you think?
I think women just fall into they fall into this stigma more so of like relationship goals. It's a big thing. Like, and not even from a relationship standpoint. You see these girls post their bags. You see these girls post when they're on vacation where, you might see the Dior background. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much pressure to like, if you're going out of town, I need the picture of me being on the boat, on the yacht. Like, and I've done it too, where I've been out of town. Like, I got to get this flick. I got to get this picture. I think it's just a stigma. Like, it's like we have to showcase that.
It's the pressure of social media.
Yeah,
End
it's
of the
pressure,
day. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
It's living up to something that you think you're supposed to, or this image that you think you're supposed to live up to.
Yeah.
But I think with maturity and exposure, I always say act like you've been here before. You know?
Act like you got some sense.
Yeah. So you have to know what you're doing, and moves have to be calculated.
Absolutely. But like I always say, everything is, you have to understand that everything is a perspective and not the truth.
But not everyone understands that.
No, not everyone understands that. But like I say this all the time, like girls get jealous of the other girls who, drive the cars and have the bags. You don't know what that girl had to do to get there, or what she's currently going through in order for her to have to stay in that situation. She might have not a way out, but yeah, she's dripped down, but you don't know what disrespect she's dealing in the back end, if she's paying for that stuff, if it's fake. Like, you don't know any of those type of things.
I mean, it's both ways.
Yeah. Oh, true.
Men do the same. You don't know what they're doing to get their money, right?
Yeah.
So you have to have some perspective. You have to know yourself also. Like, and you have to...
You gotta be confident.
You have to just be confident in yourself, because you cannot be influenced because someone is driving these things. Like you said, you don't know where they're getting the money from, or if the money is even real. The next day you could be in jail. He or she could be in jail. So you just have to know yourself and have some boundaries. Just understand who you are before you go on social media and want to act like the next person. And end of the day, I think it comes down to you, your confidence, your boundaries.
Yeah. What boundaries do you think people should set with themselves when it comes to people or social media?
I think it's all relative.
Okay.
In this sense, right? If you're someone who just doesn't care, because some people just don't care, go crazy, because we need them. Sometimes you just get caught scrolling because there's some wild stuff out there.
Yeah.
Right? So you need those people. But for majority, I think you just need to find out what you're comfortable sharing.
Yeah.
That's the biggest boundary for me. If you don't know yourself, you don't understand what you're comfortable sharing and what you're able to deal with. Some people cannot deal with criticism.
Yeah.
You have to know that. So you have to know what you're posting.
That comes with it.
And the people that follow you. Maybe your page needs to be private and not public. So there are different boundaries you can set for yourself to protect yourself.
That's
and
good.
I think that's key.
Yeah.
How about you?
Damn, that's a good one. I think it's knowing what comes with social media.
Yeah.
Because I just organically started posting on TikTok, not looking to build a community or anything of that sort. But the more I started getting virality on videos, it came with a lot of hate and it came with a lot of negative commentary. And at the beginning, I used to be like, yo, this is some real cruel shit these people are saying, right? But then I got to a point where I'm like, people are going to always have something to say because some people just don't have nothing better to do. It's kind of like misery needs, what is it? Misery
needs company.
Misery needs company.
Yeah.
So if I'm not having a good day or I'm feeling miserable, I'm going to project that on whoever. And most of the time it's people just on social media kind of trolling you, right? And that comes with it. So I think it's just knowing what comes with the territory is like my biggest boundary. And also just now is sharing what I want to share, answering what I want to answer, responding when I want to respond. Like, I'm not obligated to do any of those things. Like, you know, I think we were talking about this on the last episode, like with Jade, where she was kind of saying like people on TikTok now, they're always like, when they see there's like a product or something, they're like, oh my God, where can I get that? Da, 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 da. And it's like, they feel like have this pressure that I have to respond to you to tell you where you're getting these things. It's like, I don't have, my boundaries, like I don't have to respond to anything. Like I put the message out, it landed where it landed. If I wanted to respond, if I want to say thank you, I will. And it's no shade to anybody out there because I do read a lot of the stuff, but it's like Jade said it, she's like, it's like a love bombing. Like when you get so much stuff in, you're like, I don't know how to handle that. I have too much anxiety. Like I appreciate the love. Thank you so much, but I don't know how to handle that. So my boundary is kind of like, I'll respond to it when I respond to it.
And also with that, you know, Instagram and social media has a lot of smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind when scrolling through, commenting.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people soak this stuff in.
Yeah.
But end of the day, we're all trying to express ourselves and do what we enjoy.
Yeah.
You know, and expressing on social media might be one of those ways.
Yeah.
There's abuse and everything. There's always bad actors and everything. But understanding that we're all trying to just have fun and enjoy social media and these platforms is key.
Yeah. It has to go back to being social. Like, just
like
social.
Back in the day when we just had fun with, I don't know about your age, but Facebook.
I was in the MySpace days.
I was in the Facebook. Yeah, which came
I was
after
in the MySpace days where MySpace was just like, we knew how to code and we were putting our own little song on there and we interacted when we interacted. It didn't matter if our picture looked like, you know, it wasn't edited and it didn't have an AI bot behind it or anything of that sort. It was just like, you know, it was just like fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what it needs to return to.
Yeah.
Less competition, less egos, less cattiness, and just enjoy it.
Just be who you are, authentically show up as yourself.
Yeah, and say something for yourself.
And say something for yourself.
Yeah.
Let them know where they can find you. I know you private, you know, but, you know, let them know where they can find you.
You can still find me. It's D. James. Yeah.
We'll put that like on the screen so you can see it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes,
It was
thank
great.
you so much.
Good job.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's Jasmine with Dear Women I Got Y'all, and thanks for watching. Check out our other shows, Women of Tomorrow and Hidden Hands.